Okay, so I have to go back and make a video about speaking light. Niches is what the lady said, hoes and cheese is what I'm thinking. But I know niche. A niche is like something that you're good at, something that you can really sink yourself into, something that you enjoy doing. So, I think she said she used to call it notches or whatever, but she called it a niche, not a niche. Okay, so then I wrote down humble as a virtue. I remember a quote about, well, I just didn't know. I really didn't want to miss anything, but about cracks in a lamp. And being humble, being virtues, humbleness being virtues. Somehow the word nobility popped up. It is noble to be humble sometimes. When you think of nobility, it's like you don't want to get lost in the praise of a thing. Some people get caught up in the fact that they want to be praised by others to the point that where they completely lose who they are as self. They lose their selves. And you can't get so caught up to where what was important is forgotten. Well, I guess I need to go ahead and speak on it then, since I'm on the topic. The cracks in a lamp. When you think about a lamp, sometimes they were talking on not being so caught up in a person's appearance. Sometimes I heard a quote once said that cracks in a lamp adds character, especially when you're talking about being a light. It's like um, it's like when you're talking about being a light to somebody, you can't be a light in a room full of lights. You become like the solar sun, and it's too much. But when you're trying to be a light, for a guiding light for your community, you have to go amongst the community, amongst people who might be a little cracked or shrouded in darkness or have a little bit of confusion, or a lamp might not look as cute as yours. You have to be humble. And it is. If patience is a virtue as well, of course, nobility is not a virtue. To be noble, well, because nobility, it does, when you think about it, when people nowadays think about it, well, no, I'm sorry, that was a sway from the spiritual realm. But noble, when you think about being noble, when people's thought and mind frame process is just, don't get caught up in the hype. Because when you think of nobility, some people tend to think of what other people think of them. Trying to be a light amongst the lights. Okay, yeah, I put in there amongst the solar. It's like a solar sun, but it is a better definition. It's like when you are in weight class. Sometimes some people have weights to bear that are bigger than themselves, and that is who you're saying you're supposed to be guiding. You're supposed to be guiding those people whose weight has become too much to bear. So it is to get them out of a situation where they're being crushed, or they're not being guided, or they're shrouded in darkness. That's who you're supposed to be helping them out. Other than that, it's like those big unnecessary conferences that you go to to where it's people and they're buying $1,000 plates, but everybody's saying they're dedicating something to something or some cause or someone. But after a while, if you don't do what you're saying, you're not being humble, you're not being noble, you're not practicing your virtues, you're not being a light. Amongst the lights is just like, what is one more in a room full of lights? What is one more light in a room full of lights? It's nothing. At the end of the day, it's already light there. Why don't you go be a light somewhere else where you're needed? So now is the time is to go out amongst the people, and you never know who you might encounter. Different lights look like different things, but this world and how chaotic it is, some people try to disguise themselves as lights, and really they're not. They're not lights. You have to be very careful and protecting yourself. Be very careful in your need to protect yourself, because some people are just working with confusion and not having the opportunities or platform, and then other people are deliberately trying to hurt people. But it could be because it's been so long since anybody ever lended out a hand, or people didn't act as though they cared or wanted to even take recognition to what was going on. And it's like being a lamp beyond repair. When you talk about lamps, then there are different types of lamps as well too, because you have the lamp light, and then you have the oil lamp as well too. When you talk about lamps, not to get too much off topic, but when you have too much going on, sometimes you are cracked beyond repair at that moment in time. So it is okay, and it is noble sometimes to know when to sit down. No matter if you have the strongest energy, it is noble to humble yourself. It is. It is noble to humble yourself and sit down and say, okay, I'm a fighter. I know I am very proud, not prideful, because pride comes before the fall. But I am very proud, and I do fight a good fight. But now it's time for me to sit down and take care of myself, or pay attention to what I have going on, or how it's affecting me, or how what I have going on in the energy, especially when you're talking about energies, and how it's affecting other people around me. It could be a problem after a while if you don't seek help for it. And sometimes you don't even have realization of it, because you're so constantly moving, constantly going, constantly trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. You have to take time to self. Sometimes it's helpful to be humble and wait and be quiet and be amongst yourself. I have years of practice of that, but I just think I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here. Hopefully, I'll be able to post it. You all have a very blessed day.